Hey, World Entertainment, and of course, X-Men is meant to be the next phase for Marvel after Secret Wars. And of course, the questions are, what direction would they go in with it? Are they going to go young cast? Are they going to go middle-aged cast? Are they going to bring back some of our favourite actors to portray some of our favourite characters? Are they going to go full MCU with it? Either way, one character in particular, there's been one person who people have said she should definitely play that character. The character, of course, is Storm. The person who they always point to and say, that right there embodies Storm, is Jade Cargill. Now, a lot of people watching this might be going, who? Jade Cargill is a WWE wrestler, formerly of AEW, but she has the build, she has the stature, and she's got the hair because her hair is always in the Storm look. And a lot of her entrances in the wrestling is based around Storm. She literally has like the wing suit sometimes. There's a lot of electricity on screen and stuff. So she very much embodies the character of Storm. Even though that's not who she's portraying in wrestling. She's portraying herself, but the whole kind of gimmick look-wise is based around Storm. Jade Cargill herself is now confirming that her team is actually in discussions with Marvel about playing Storm in X-Men. Yeah, so this is interesting. This isn't even coming off a normal kind of comic book website or anything. This is actually from a wrestling website, but check this out. So, WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill has confirmed that her team has been in active discussions with Marvel representatives about potentially playing Storm in a future X-Men project. Speaking to Scott Johnson on the Going Ringside podcast, Cargill revealed that this is no longer just fan speculation. Real conversations are happening behind the scenes about bringing the iconic weather-controlling mutant to life on screen. So, this is the first part of what she says. I've had my people talk to a certain amount of people. I'm hoping that things do transpire and they do see that this is something that I've always been passionate about my entire life. Let's keep our fingers crossed, guys. So, that's what she said. And of course, you will obviously be seeing images of Jade throughout this. So, you can make up your own mind whether or not you think she fits the bill. To a lot of us, especially who watch wrestling, yes, she kind of fits the bill. The question would be, like, does she have the acting chops? That's another thing. So, hopefully if she's in these type of discussions, you would hope she's taking acting lessons behind the scenes as well. But the connection between Cargill and Storm runs deep. She's used the Storm nickname throughout her wrestling career, and her physical presence has drawn comparisons to the Marvel character from fans for years. Now, the Storm nickname, I don't recall them ever. I've always heard the commentators kind of reference her to looking like Storm and stuff. I've never really, I don't recall them ever nicknaming her Storm, you know. And maybe they did in AEW and didn't watch AEW, but they definitely don't in WWE. So, when asked about the role, Cargill expressed supreme confidence in her natural fit for the part, saying, "Of course, we don't have to use any of the CGI. This is how it looks. Like, what do we need? What do we need, guys?" she declares. So, playing Storm would represent a significant Hollywood breakthrough for Cargill, following the path of other WWE stars like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, John Cena, and Dave Bautista, who successfully transitioned from wrestling to major film franchises. Cargill emphasized that portraying Storm isn't just a career opportunity, but a genuine passion project. The role has been on her radar since long before she entered professional wrestling, making any potential casting a dream come true for the current women's champion. With WrestleMania on the horizon, Cargill is positioned for maximum visibility on WWE's biggest stage. A successful title defense there could only strengthen her case for the coveted Marvel role. So it looks like she is in discussions, or at least there's talks happening between her representatives and Marvel representatives about portraying the character of Storm in a project, which I think is interesting. Now, again, we don't know what she'd be like acting wise, so you would hope she would be getting, quietly anyway, some acting lessons. You know, it's not just your look and your presence, you have to have that ability as well, because it would be one thing for her to get cast and people would go like, holy hell, now that's Storm. But then she comes in and her performance is wooden, stiff, and stinks out the place. You'd be like, ooh, that's unfortunate. Kind of like how a lot of people view Gal Gadot, really. It's like, wow, she really embodied the look and all the presence of Wonder Woman. And then she opens her mouth to deliver a line like, Kal-El, no. And you're like, oh, we were so close. You don't exactly want that. Of course, there is a lot of charm to the Gal Gadot's performance. I don't know whether or not Jade Cargill would have that kind of, endurance to it, basically. I do think it would be interesting. And the fact that so many people for so long have pushed for Jade Cargill to play Storm, basically because of her look and her physique and stuff, and that is the one thing. You don't need any little black dots on the body to CGI in some muscle or anything like that. She is ripped beyond a joke. She does have a tall stature. She has that pure white hair. Obviously it's dyed and stuff, but she looks and embodies that character. And yes, she's even had the wigs on for her entrances with like the mullet and other versions of Storm's hair. So as I said, a lot of her entrances, especially on pay-per-views, do very much encompass the look of Storm from the comic books. Obviously they don't play any kind of XMen music or anything, she's her own theme tune, but just the costume she'd wear, the wig she'd wear to the ring, all that type of stuff, very much Storm. So I think it would be very interesting to see what would happen if they did cast her. Again, she's got the look, all that stuff, but it's the acting chops. Could that be there? What is she taking acting lessons? And of course, could she even possibly show up in Secret Wars to kind of start off Storm? We don't know yet. Only time will tell. But what do you guys think? Do you think she could pull it off? Do you think she'd be the perfect casting choice? Have you ever seen Jade Cargill? Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, hit the hype button, check out memberships, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.